Okay, today's the second lesson on our unit or in our unit of statistics, and it focuses on a very particular type of situation, which is something that's very commonly asked on the Regents, and is somewhat of a useful question when you think about it. And what it's dealing with is the situation where you have one or more events still to occur, and you want to know what you need to get or score in that future event to be able to get an average of whatever. It's a common question students will ask. They want to get an A, 90 or above, and what do I need to get on my last test to get an A, or my last two tests to get an A? So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to show you two ways that that can be done. So when we're trying to find the missing score, the algebraic way of doing it is that the x, or the unknown score, goes on the numerator of the fraction. And then we are dividing by the total number of results, meaning what have we done to date, plus x. And that equals the expected mean. Okay? So I'm going to show you how we do this, as I said above, the algebraic way, and then I will show you how it's done a little slightly different way that I prefer. All right. Well, the first question really doesn't deal with that. It's got Rosario and Enrique's score for two tests. How much higher is Enrique's average than Rosario's? And it's a 78 versus a 75, or a 3-point difference. That's just a straight computation of the arithmetic mean for there. All right, now let's get to the questions we're talking about. I have the Topps Electronic company. The average weekly salary is $360 for 5 employees. I have the salary for 4 of them. How much did that 5th employee make? So the algebraic way is I take the 4 values that I've scored, or have, and I add to them the x, which is my 5th and unknown, and I'm going to divide by 5 because that's my formula for finding the mean, and I know that that equals 360. Well, this is a proportion. It's really like 360 over 1. So I cross multiply, and I get a very simple algebraic equation where this is 450 equals, or 450, I'm sorry, which is the sum of the salaries, plus the x equals 1800, or x is 350. Okay? Now, the other way you can do it is you know to have an average employee salary for 5 of them of 360, that means they must earn in total $1,800. The 4 of them have earned $1,450. That means the 5th one must earn $350. You can use either of these two methods as long as you show all your work. They are both acceptable. I like the one in green, but what you use is doesn't matter to me. So if my 5-day average is 65, that means over those 5 days the temperature had to be 315 degrees in total. The 4 days adds up to 256, which means that 5th day had to be 59 degrees. Okay, let's move on. The average for 3 dogs is 38 pounds. One of the dogs weighs 46. The other 2 have the same weight. Find Eddie's weight. Okay, again, if the average is 38, that means the 3 dogs weigh 114 pounds in total. If Sparky is 46, that means the other 2 dogs have to weigh 68 pounds. Eddie and Sandy have the same weight, so that means Eddie and Sandy are 34 pounds each. Okay? Again, it can be done algebraically. You do 46 plus x divided by 3 equals the 38. Okay? If 6 and x have the same mean as 2, 4, and 24, what is the value of x? Well, What's the mean of 2, 4, and 24? You add them up. It's 30 divided by 3, not 30. So that's 10. So 6 plus x has to have, divided by 2, have to have an average of 10. And you find that that is 14. Okay. During the marking period, 5 tests. Anita needs a 65 average to pass. So far, she's gotten a 60, a 72, a 55, and an 80. What's the lowest she can score? Again, what you would do is the same concept of adding the scores that she has. Okay. So if you do, she needs 65 for 5 tests. So that means she needs to get 325 points. All right, so far she's gotten an 80, a 55, a 72, and a 60, not the greatest scores. So far she scored 267, and that means that she needs a 58 to pass for the quarter. Not really something you should be striving for, but hopefully you strive for a little bit more. All right, the average of a set of 20 test scores is represented by X. Okay, if each score is increased by y points, which expression represents the average of the revised set? Okay, so if you think about it, the average is x. Okay, so in some of these you can do with, because they like to ask these questions in a little bit more abstract manner, meaning not with numbers but with variables. So it's a better test of how you're grasping the material. So my average is x, okay? That's the key. The average is x, all right? And I'm going to, each score goes up by y. So what's going to happen? My new average goes up by y because I'm increasing each score. That's the key, is increased by y. So my overall average is going to go up the same. All right, and then finally, in a set of n data values, m represents the median. If each number in the set is decreased by 3, what happens to the new median? It goes down by 3. Okay, and we saw that a little in our first lesson on statistics, where we were adjusting every score that somebody had. Okay, so today's lesson was figuring out what kind of score or value I need to get an expected mean.